4 years at the School of Pharmacy, you have progressively been molded into a pharmacist using 4 pillars for your foundation, namely pharmacy practice, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmaceutics, and pharmacology.
Entering the big world as a 7-star intern pharmacist, you are expected to be a communicator, caregiver, manager, leader, teacher, decision maker, and lifelong learner within a pharmacy setting.
As the years roll on through community service into a qualified pharmacist, you will always find yourself managing at various levels.
Are you truly ready to be managed? Perhaps not. That's because it has been said that in order to be managed, you have to be manageable. Managing up is not manipulating, tricking, or deceiving, and it's definitely not sucking up. When the practice of managing up gets confused with promotion of self-interest, a good theory can rapidly end up in dangerous reality. Managing up is basically defined as the process of consciously working together with your boss to obtain the best possible results for you, your boss, and your organization. The focus here being mutual benefit. Some people might simply refer to it as doing your job. We have been exposed to the concept of management, but not really to managing up. Therefore, we would like to propose a few strategies that can be applied to learn the fine art of managing up.
Strategies for managing up includes A, to your manager, B, yourself, which includes taking responsibility, presenting as, and keeping in check, and C, for your colleagues. Managing up to your manager. Enhance and never criticize, for your manager looks to you to make him or her look smart and successful, and cares about his or her career as you do about yours. There's nothing to be gained through criticism. Therefore, it's always important to enhance and never to criticize. Never show up or correct your manager. Do not strive to look good at the expense of your manager. Determine how your manager wants to hear from you. How often is it? Is it daily? Or is it weekly? Or is it something different? And in what manner does your manager want to hear from you? Is it phone calls or is it emails?
Managing up to yourself includes taking responsibility. As a manager, you represent the department, not just when you're on duty, but all the time. Be mindful of your behavior and your dress code. Most of all, look professional, not as I am sitting right now. Pay close attention to what the senior staff are wearing and model your dress according to them. If in doubt, rather be too conservative than too casual. Honor commitment. If your manager asks you to complete an assignment by tomorrow, have it done. Managers do not typically hand out tight deadlines for no reason. It is likely the assignment is due outside the department. Furthermore, a tight deadline reflects its importance. Failure to meet the deadline will reflect poorly on your manager. Remember to prioritize. You will have many assignments delegated to you. It is your responsibility to keep your manager informed of your priority list so that he or she can readjust or reassign your work. It is unacceptable to let crucial assignments fall through the cracks. because you allow your work list to derail your priorities. Communicate well. Do not make your manager work to find out information. Package information into an easy to understand form, only including the relevant and important. Remember, communication is not just talking, but also listening.
Managing up to yourself includes presenting as: in order to be teachable, one must be able to accept feedback, seek advice, and be willing to listen. Do not be afraid to let your manager know you need help. He or she will rather want to know about your problems up front than receiving a late or poorly completed assignment. Your manager can be a good resource, as he or she has probably encountered a similar situation. If you listen to your manager, you might learn something from his or her experience. Being a good role model directly translates to being an employee who inspires and sets a good example. Naturally, other employees will start to mimic your behavior, and this will make it easier for your manager to manage the group as a whole, ultimately leading to a more effective organization. Being a resource means to make yourself indispensable by collecting relevant knowledge. This will enable you to provide crucial information when your manager needs it. No, this does not mean you have to memorize the martingale. A simple way of being resourceful is to keep your manager updated on organizational events and other news. Be your manager's eyes and ears on the ground. Your manager don't always want to tell you what to do. Take initiative by figuring out which projects will simplify your manager's life and volunteer to help. This will increase your value to your boss and to the organization.
Managing up to yourself includes keeping the following in check. Pay attention to detail when preparing information for your manager. You don't want to put your manager in a situation that makes him or her look bad. Manage your own conflicts. Your manager does not want to intervene on your behalf. So, if you're at odds with a colleague, figure out a way how to resolve it. Manage your ego. While your manager will give you as much credit as possible, there are times when the final product must have the manager's name on it. Accept that fact.
Managing up for your colleagues. Respect is of most importance in any working relationship. Managing up is impossible without it. Give credit. Everyone wants to feel as if the job they are doing is important. Keeping up the morale around the pharmacy by crediting employees when appropriate will send a good message to the organization that the pharmacy is running well, which will reflect well on your manager. Never put others down. Disrespect and disloyalty will always reflect poorly on you, the department, and ultimately your manager. No one deserves to be put down. Work together is always the best way. Therefore, to be an effective 7-star pharmacist that is functional at all levels, it requires you to manage up to yourself, for your colleagues, and to your manager. The pharmacy can only function as a unit if you manage up, regardless of the level that you are at, to form a sturdy, hardy structure.
So managing up has become the buzzword in this presentation. But how do we practically apply the strategies thereof in the workplace? Let's take a look. Mr. Bloggs is a pharmacist at the community pharmacy where you are working as an intern. He needs 3 post-basic assistants to make sure that patient needs are met. one of those assistants is not working hard enough and takes frequent breaks. He approaches you as the intern and looks to you on how to manage the situation. How will you apply the strategies of managing up? Let's look at one possible approach to dealing with this scenario. In situations like these, it's important that you enhance your manager. You need to come alongside and manage with your manager. Then it's important that you never put the other colleague down. Even though it's been brought to your attention that this colleague is at fault, you need to remember to enhance and encourage your colleagues too. And then probably the crux of the scenario is this is your time to show initiative, to come up with a solution. There may be many possible solutions to this scenario, and no one solution is necessarily right or wrong. But the main point here is to remember to enhance and encourage with your solution. For example, you may decide to call your colleague in and discuss with them if there's any problems they are experiencing at present because their production or performance is not as high as usual. In that way, you are acknowledging that the colleague is usually a high producer or a high performer, and you are wondering what has changed that. So how will you apply these strategies to other scenarios in your pharmacy settings?